All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Blaise Pascal said that. We are not meant just to consume, but day in, day out, we consume more in 1 hour than our ancestors would have in years. It sometimes feels like putting a fire hose to your mouth for hours. What is the opposite of this? What cancels this out? Isn't there something we can do in its stead? Something we can turn to when we feel like we just want to turn off our brains and receive? Unfortunately not. There is nothing that is good, beneficial, that is a replacement for doom scrolling in the same sense. Anything that is just rapid, passive reception of information to the extent of scrolling is not necessarily good. That is not to say that consumption itself is absolutely bad. We cannot gain knowledge without consuming it. But the kind of mainstream consumption that is infinite scrolling is distinctly different from the kind of consumption that comes from reading a book or watching an important documentary. But as important as healthy consumption is, we also need to balance it out with something that is absolutely, completely opposite. Something that's as far removed from the rapid consumption as you can possibly get. And this something exists. There's this wall in my dorm room. It's huge and expansive and empty, and I have no idea what to do with it. I have a few options. I could leave it be, or I could buy a big painting or tapestry, or I could create something to put on the wall. I could consume. I could just scroll through Amazon, pick out something I like, and have it delivered to my dorm in one click. I could. A big empty wall is the epitome of potential. It is the raw substance, no, the empty pedestal upon which something of import can rest and be displayed. Can a cheap painting off of Amazon be something of import? Is it really something to display upon such a pedestal? I'm sure there are some exceptions. Value and meaning and importance can be injected into something seemingly lacking these attributes through other means. But for me, there is no value there. Consumption is the intake of knowledge, then opposite would be the output of knowledge, the vomiting up of what we have taken in, so to speak. But the output can only be a function of what comes in. Even if the function, you and your ability to create, is ludicrous, it is still limited by the input. I have reached the inevitable stage of burnout that comes with anything that you want to create. It's this feeling of dread to even touch the thing that you're working on. And there are different levels of burnout depending on how much you care about something. So school, very easy to get burnt out. I don't really care about, all I care about are grades, and so that's the reason you push through. But like, say I'm reading and I really don't care too much about reading, and then you get burnout of reading, and then you're like, oh, I'm never gonna pick up a book again because it's just not that important to me. But when you pick something to create that you care deeply about, you're burnt out for now, but you are able to find the motivation to push through it within yourself, not through any external things. And that's this. And I really think that everyone needs to find something that, sure, you get burnt out, but in the long run, you don't care. Like, you can push through the burnout. And so that is what I am resolving to do at this moment. I'm actually not allowed to light candles in this dorm, so I just hope no one who can find me for that is watching this video. There's something about drawing and making these videos that doesn't bore me, that doesn't tire me out. Like, finance stuff tires me out. It makes me miserable. Sometimes talking to people wears me out. That makes me miserable too sometimes. But I have been drawing for 5 hours, and it doesn't tire me out. Making this video, it doesn't tire me out. It's something about becoming the thing I'm creating that I just like lose myself in this. And I know, and I think everyone should experience this once. And I think it helps you figure out what you care about, what you're made to do. Maybe I'm made to do this. I don't know. See, I was drawing the face of God in the creation of Adam. And when you create, you pay such immense attention to little details, especially drawing. So if you look at the original, he has this expression. I don't know what it is. It's like this, he almost looks shocked at what he's created. His eyebrow is raised and his mouth is like almost a little bit open. And you can see the weariness in his eyes, because after this, he rested after this. So there's like a weariness. And so in trying to recreate this expression, I've understood something about the nature of the thing that what I'm creating is representing, right? Like I'm understanding to some extent what it feels like to do this, to bring something to life. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to equate myself. I'm not equating myself to God, but yeah, I can't really articulate what I mean unless you create something and you can partake in this feeling. I can't say anything more. I mean, that's all I got. It's the final push. The next problem is mounting the poster to the wall, but I don't think using command strips is such a smart idea, so I think the solution is creating breathes into its subject, meaning, and importance. This is why we create. Creating breathes into life, meaning, and importance. This is why we create.